What up, YouTube? I'm back. It's your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I am on the way to work, so I want to make up this stream for y'all. I told uh, car payment, car insurance. She was bills free. Had maybe some student loans, I'm pretty sure, and a little credit card bill. But other than that, she didn't have to pay for rent. She didn't have to pay for utilities, uh, cable, internet. She contributed to food, but I still bought most of the food. I bought all my daughter's needs, and naturally, I would buy her things like clothes and shoes as well. So I had come to the conclusion that even before I had a kid, that if I ever suffered a split parent home, that I wasn't having any more kids. And mind you, I had been in relationships with women with kids uh, in my 20s. I have not been in a relationship with a woman with kids since I was 22, 23 maybe. So all this time, I have avoided um, being in a relationship with a single mother. That doesn't mean I haven't slept with a single mother. As of recent, I have been like the last 8, 9 months prior to a breakup sleeping with a woman that was 40 years old, that was a widow with no kids. Um, so when I told guys that I wasn't dealing with a single mother, I was truly not dealing with a single mother. But early in life, I seen all my friends, guys that I knew from the neighborhood and stuff like that, start having kids as teens, fresh out of high school. That's on top of I observed the guys that were older than me, the adults that were older than me that were either boomers or early children of boomers that happened to be in their 20s and 30s already as I was growing up as a teen. Um, Basically, I seen the first wave of child support delinquent men, or the first wave of what they call the deadbeat dad. What you guys got to understand about Generation X is we're a unique generation. We were the first generation to come on the end and the cusp of all this new nonsense that y'all see. So we grew up in it. So we can give you the good side and the bad side of things from our perspective because we're basically experts in it. Most of the guys that I went to school with, or most of the people I went to school with in general, whether it be boys or girls, you know, me born in '79, I'm literally going to school with the first and second wave of split homes, single parents, um, probably the height of welfare and government benefits. So I told myself that I wasn't going to have a kid until I was ready. That was the number one thing. I was not going to have a kid until I was ready. I was adult enough, man enough, and responsible enough to be able to take care and provide for that kid. So I didn't have a kid until I was 38 years old. And I'm getting ready to be 43. And I also told myself that if I ever suffered a split parent home, that I wouldn't be having any more kids because I seen it as it makes no sense that the way that the black community operates, that the family structure is broken down, and there's a lot of mixed families. If there's a family at all, more than likely it's going to be mixed. I told myself I wasn't going to have any more kids. It just didn't make no sense. If you can't keep the original family intact and under one roof, at least until the kids are grown, it makes no sense to have more kids with other women. Now, my child's mother, if she chooses to have more kids with somebody else, that's on her. Um, and then the next woman that I meet, she can't have kids, especially of a certain age. I will take in consideration a woman from overseas that's young and viable enough, but there has to be some other factors in order for me to do that. But that was just my experience alone. But what you're seeing out in the world with custody issues, high divorce rates, uh, child support, men paying out a lot of money in divorces more than women, men getting less custody of their kids versus the women, most men being on child support instead of women being on child support. Not only that, not only those things, right? For some reason, it seems that sex from a woman is more valuable than sex from a man. A woman's sexual um, organs are promoted and basically recognized as more valuable than a man's sexual organs, which isn't my reality. It's just the way it's practiced in this society. It's not my reality. I don't accept it. I live by a different creed. But I've met females since splitting with my child's mother, you know, and at those times I'm 40, 41, 42 now, going to be 43. And these ladies have the nerve to ask me, well, do I want more kids? And most of these ladies are in their late 30s, touching on 40, if not 40 as well. And I'm listening to it and looking at them considering their mental health. It's like it's too late in the game for me or you to be worried about kids if we were to do anything on that level. Some of these women are already single mothers or a single mother more than once. I met one that adopted a kid out of a family from a previous marriage. Go figure. Um, and you would think like, why are you still talking about kids this late in the game? And you haven't even solidified a relationship. And we won't get into what they look like because, It's so many things that you deal with when you become my age. You deal with not only divorcees, widows, single mother once or twice over. Some of them even divorced twice. You know, it would be like some overweight women, out of shape women too. And you'd be like, you know, you don't even want to talk to them. You just happen to meet them, whether in person or on the app, and there's no chance of her with you, period. And they still be talking delusional, like they have opportunities or a chance, along with throwing kids in the conversation. So it hit me one day that when we talk about you guys valuing yourselves, there's many areas to cover about your value. The same way that women value sex from them giving out to men, you need to value your sex. You need to value your sexual organs. You need to value your sperm. I told guys on a panel a year or so ago that a woman cannot talk to me about having kids unless she has a quarter million up to $1 million prepaid to me. Sounds far fetched, but I'm dead serious. The average estimated amount of money it takes to raise a kid from 0 to 18 is a $250,000. The way that this system, this government, this country victimizes men in relationships, marriage, child custody issues, and child support issues, they predatory attack men. At some point, it should have clicked in your head how valuable you are, and you need to take measures. See, I've taken a countermeasure, no more kids. And if a woman isn't willing to pay, she can't get my genetics. She can't get my DNA. And I'm not on child support. I have my situation, my daughter under control. At this point, I'm child support proof. It would make no sense for my child's mother to even try me like that, because she would get less out of me. She's actually getting more from me than what she would seek through the system. And that's to my preference, because I'm trying to make sure my daughter's straight in between the ages of 18 and 21. I have a lot of stuff set aside for her. But should no woman in her late 30s and beyond be talking about kids to you? And you shouldn't be giving any kind of woman your sperm or DNA for free or without some type of investment. Uh, Again, it sounds far fetched, but you can modify the investment. Of course, assuming women don't have that kind of money, they don't. They're broke. They're only in the middle class because of their job and occupation and what they earn. But however, they don't manage money well, so they have low bank accounts and a lot of debt. And then younger people in general just don't have that kind of money unless they come from certain types of families and backgrounds. So you can modify the investment. Um, if not in the form of money, you have the right to contract and require performance out of them. In your contracts, you should stipulate never being taken to court for child custody or child support. and also no seeking any type of alimonies based on any kind of relationship. You just need to start telling these females, man. And I tell these females, I tell them all that I'm not doing a state sanctioned marriage and I'm not having no more kids. You know, and then when they ask about kids, I'm raw and uncut. Like, do you have a $250,000 up to $1 million prepaid to me in order to have a kid by me? Otherwise, I'm not having no kids. They laugh and think it's funny and say I'm crazy, but I'll be like, I'm dead serious. You know, you can modify the investment, like I said. You guys got to start learning to be paperwork intensive. You cannot be scared to put your contracts out there. And you never let a woman value her sex given to a man and her sexual organs more than yours. It's equal value or nothing. Period. And you need to learn how to nullify the system with your own contracts and paperwork. Roe versus Wade is probably icing on the cake. I was like this way before Roe versus Wade just because of what had been going on for decades now. But Roe versus Wade should be icing on the cake that you might want to protect your sperm. You know, and it's, you know, you've got different reasons for Roe versus Wade. I went back and looked at some more commentaries. Um, some people mentioned that they need to rebuild the workforce, which is true. Uh, the number one reason was the declining birth rate in Caucasian people, in which Caucasian men, I advise you to protect your sperm as well. Yeah, your birth rate may be declining, but you still are up against a system that is very adverse to men, um, race and nationality. And then, you know, my take on it is offsetting a lot of those government benefits women have taken that has taken a toll on the taxpayer, kind of recouping from that by way of putting more men in the system, particularly black men in the system, on child support payments and maybe child support delinquencies, which turns into a criminal case. So just because they made this Roe versus Wade decision, it doesn't mean it's a victory. There's some dangers about to come about. So you guys got to be smart. If you want more babies, if you want to replenish your workforce, they're going to have to do it through men. But you need to protect your sperm and structure what your sperm produces. So you need to make these women pay and invest and follow some contracts. This is your boy Zulu. Go to like, share, subscribe, comment. I will get back with y'all later. Y'all gentlemen have a good Thursday, man. Let's go.